know is that Heat went out and this team looked more coordinated and quality than they have all season.
You can't accept that you are the problem there. There is no hope for your career.
Eu quero apresentar a vocês a ONLYPADS, que além de apoiar o smokemid, também apoia outros criadores de conteúdo como Bzka, Taihu, Bzka e Charola. E eles acabaram de me enviar esse X-Lite V2 da Pulsar, um mouse simplesmente insano, com certeza o melhor que já tive, e chegou muito rápido. A ONLYPADS é uma empresa focada em ajudar pessoas a atingirem alta performance no FPS, e faz isso através de um serviço especializado, onde indica os periféricos corretos baseado em sua configuração e outras métricas. Ou seja, eles indicam exatamente o periférico que vai encaixar perfeitamente pra você. Então vai lá no Instagram deles, diz que veio pelo smokemid, fala o que tá querendo, que eles vão indicar o melhor periférico pra você. O link vai estar aqui na descrição. Fala galera, tudo bem com vocês? Há algumas semanas o Mibr anunciou que o Heat iria se afastar temporariamente da lineup titular da equipe. Então, no lugar dele, entrou o Chouzin, que na última partida desempenhou muito bem e fez um clutch simplesmente insano para garantir a partida. Porém, nesse meio tempo saiu notícia no The Enemy, onde revelam os reais motivos que levaram o Heat a se afastar da equipe. Inclusive tem vídeo aqui no canal falando sobre isso, caso você ainda não tenha visto, confere lá. E recentemente rolou um Plat Chat, que é um dos maiores podcasts sobre Valorant. E lá eles comentaram sobre essa situação do Heat e do Bzka e deram suas opiniões sobre o assunto. E separamos esse trecho aqui pra gente conferir, saca só.
Before we move on to the teams who have made playoffs and do our little pick'ems, let's actually talk about MIBR, because we've been dooming about 100 Thieves, but the team that beat them, like we've already said, looked incredible. And like you were mentioning, it was the sixth player who came in and stepped up. And there was this article that was released 2 weeks back when they first had Heat step out from a Brazilian publication, talking about the fact that there were some internal issues with MIBR, that there was like some conflict between like kind of Heat and Coach Bzka around like ideas of how the team would continue in terms of like strategy and what ideas they would go for. Heat wanted to play more loose, Bzka wanted to have more structure. I don't know if that article is fully clear of what the internal dynamics of this team are, because we can't fully know. But what we can know is that Heat went out and this team looked more coordinated and quality than they have all season.
Yeah, they did the second time, right? Because they did play.
They played last
the
week.
first time, yeah.
It looked pretty dire, but this is the second time I've seen this happen in esports, by the way, which is like the vibe shift. Just someone messing up the vibes, and you get them out, and theoretically they're a great player on paper. They're an amazing player on paper. But you get them out, and suddenly the team is fucking popping off because it's like, I don't know. I think this is the perfect mixture of circumstances where they had absolutely zero pressure. Last game in the regular season, they want to go out with a bang. They want to have some fun with it, and all the weight and pressure just is off your shoulders. And you're playing against a team with all the weight and all the pressure on their shoulders because they're playing for their playoffs. That coupled with the fact that, you know, if what they're saying about, you know, Heat not being aligned in some of the direction of what the head coach wants for the team, that's a big issue, right? If you're the spearhead of your team isn't aligned with the ideology that you want to go with. And so if you get them out, that can really kind of crush a team throughout a season if not everybody is aligned in terms of the way that they want to play. And I think that, yeah, it was just the right circumstances all came together at the right moment for this team to actually just be, you know, properly unleashed.
I think that's like the big takeaway from a lot of this VCT split. If I'm looking at it and I'm a player, it's like I think this is a great example. Like Heat's an unreal player. You put a sixth in, six for assistant coach in there, and they literally look better. The vibes are better. If it's the same as Heretics, right? They got rid of Zeke because it was like a personality conflict. Like that's pretty bold to say. You know that something internally is going wrong.
Yeah.
You put in a player that hasn't played for like 2 years really, and the team looks like twice as good. And Zeke is a champions player. Like he was literally like one of the best. Yeah, he's a Champions MVP, so in theory, one of the best players in 2021. And he's getting replaced by a person that hasn't played like competitively for 2 years, and the team looks way better. Like, is that not just a big wake-up call to all of these like kind of ego kids? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think what it shows is it's just like really how important it is to just have good team vibes in this game and to not be an asshole. Like, I think it's like similar with a lot of squads where I think I kind of look at EG, for example, where you don't have to have the perfect players, the world's best, like insane individual, like a Heat. You just need a team who has an idea of how they want to play the game, have an identity and strategies that they stick to, and players that are willing to play into that system, add ideas, question things when they need to, but still commit to the plan that they have together. And you can do great things with that, as we've seen continue to be proved. And for MIBR now, they're out. This was just kind of a little send-off game, you know, have some fun, destroy every piece of joy for 100 Thieves fans like Wyatt, and then go on your merry way. But they still have LCQ, and what I thought was interesting in the post-game interview after they won this match, Chosen said that they were expecting to have Heat back for LCQ, which I was really confused by, because from that article I thought, like we were just talking about, hey, this was a vibes thing. They needed someone who fit the system a little bit better. So I want to ask what you guys make of that and the future of this team.
I've seen this before, where teams like make this decision to bench a really good player as like a slap on the wrist, and like here, look at what happened when we had everybody agreeing with what we needed to do. By the way, it's like, look at this. Like, yeah, you're a great player.
Look at this, what's on your screen.
I'm closing my eyes. I can't watch this. I'm closing my eyes. I can't watch this again.
Sick.
I can't watch this again.
I feel like this might have been like the best clutch of VCT Americas. Like, that might have been the best moment, honestly.
He played unbelievable, though.
Stop.
A coach, a manager.
The other 1v2 that he did on B as well is just incredible. And he clutches it out like this. Like, it's always meant to be. It is meant to be.
Jumping right click.
It was so hype. It really was.
Oh.
Yeah, but Brent, sorry, continue your point. Or go ahead.
I finished my point pretty much.
I was going to chime in and just say, like, it's like the second chance thing they were saying. It's like,
yeah,
if you're the person that gets kicked from the team and you're looking in and you know the person that is replacing you is worse than you 100%, like in all these cases they're worse than the person replacing them, but the team looks better. You gotta reflect inside in and be like, I am the problem. Like, the proof is literally there in front of you. If you can't accept that you are the problem, there is no hope for your career. Like, there is no hope for your career. So hopefully people can kind of look back in and go, okay, this is a big wake up call, second chance. Let's commit to the IGL, commit to the coach, commit to whatever they're saying, get on board, and let's just see it. Like, it can't look any worse than it did. Like, so let's. Hopefully it's a wake-up call and a second chance. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was that got benched, sorry, but you just reminded me of one of Avast said something when someone got benched. He was like, sometimes the ego player needs to get benched so they can remember that they're but a speck in the universe. Or something like that, which is just so true.
It is. Like, a bit of perspective, it goes a long way, and a lot of gamers who are like privileged that haven't had normal jobs and stuff. It's very hard to kind of get a perspective on just how reality is and how the world works, and sometimes you're not always right. So,
let's see if he can just have his Marcus Aurelius arc. He is a rock. Nothing affects him. He must improve mentally. He must be a part of the team. But yeah, we'll see what happens with them for LCQ. But let's talk about Americas holistically.
Mas e aí, qual a sua opinião sobre o que eles falaram? Deixa aí nos comentários, deixa também aquele like, se inscreve no canal para não perder nada. Aquele abraço, até o próximo vídeo.